Welcome, Jessica, to the Flawless Growth podcast. I am very excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so first question would be before we dive into your professional journey, could you
Uh-huh.
share a little bit about yourself outside of work?
I am a big family person, man, amazing. I love being able to go to the beach,
Nice.
something that I wasn't used to growing up, used to those brutal winters. But now being here in Florida, I love it. Sometimes I go out, I play basketball with my husband. That was one thing that I did grow up doing was playing basketball. So that is what I like to do. I love to cook. I love dancing.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very social outside of work.
Awesome. That's good. I think I like everything that you mentioned, except I struggle a little bit still with cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I
It's
do
something to
it.
get used
Yeah.
to. Eventually, look, I say this for everybody. If you know how to read, you can cook, right? Because all you got to do is know how to read a
Right.
recipe, right?
Yeah.
And just follow the recipe.
Follow the recipe. True. And just also be patient and don't be like because if you start like, oh, stress, I have to do this, gonna take an hour or something, then
Yeah.
that's you
Yeah.
have to be patient.
Don't be hard on
Yeah.
yourself. Yep. Yep.
Correct. Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing a little bit more about yourself
Yeah.
from your career. So now let's start talking a little bit about your career. So if you could tell us about your journey and how did you first get involved with Palm Beach Fertility Center?
Yeah. So, funny thing is that I used to work for JP Morgan Chase in the
Wow.
fraud department. Yes, very different,
Yeah.
very, very different. And then when I moved here to Florida, I started just exploring on what Florida has to offer as far as jobs, and randomly Palm Beach Fertility, my manager who's still here today, she's been working with the company for about 25 years.
Wow.
She reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, are you looking for a job?" And I'm like, At the time, I just got engaged. I wasn't really looking for a job at that time.
Mhm.
So when she reached out to me, she said, "Look, we really need a front desk person." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "You know what? It's a fertility center." I'm like, "That's interesting.
Mhm.
Let's check it out." So had my interview, fell in love with Dr. Danker
Oh.
immediately. He's so outgoing, so social,
Mhm.
and my manager too, Eliza. She is very outgoing, and I had this feeling that I'm like, this is a very comfortable place. I love, I want to know more about fertility. I also, at that time, I was young, I was in my 20s, and being newly married, it was something that I was eventually going to do, right? Is
Mhm.
have kids. It's something that's in everybody's part of their um, their dream to become a mother. So I started as the front desk here, and then I just worked my way up, and
Nice.
I just fell in love with doing this job. I fell in love with being able to be part of, um, people's journeys. And one thing I always say, and I say it to my employees all the time, is you got to love what you do.
Mhm.
So working here, you have to love what you do. You have to be, you know, um, happy to come to work because your reflection and how you carry yourself is very important to these patients who come in who are going to be hormonal because they're going to be undergoing
Mm.
hormone. You have to be there for them.
Right.
So yeah, and a lot of know about fertility, like the basics of health, he's taught me, and that's another thing that I fell in love with, and it really just helped me, just get very comfortable in
Mhm.
working here. So I've been here ever since. I've been here for 9 years. This past two weeks ago, it was my 9 year
Oh
anniversary,
wow!
and I love
Congratulations.
it. Thank you.
That's awesome. And Apart, so you've mentioned a lot about that you grew a passion into what you do, which is
Yeah.
amazing, and it's a key to also being able to grow in any workplace, right? Do you think there's any other skills that you had that helped you grow within the organization?
Being a people person,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think is just, you know, m- growing up, the when I grew up where you have to be humble, you know? And so I think that what's important is that you within yourself, your character, that you are just not always focusing on satisfying others, but also making sure if you're not comfortable with something, don't do it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what's important. But yeah, yeah. I say, it's important for you to really love what you do. You
Yeah.
know, it's really not hard to be a people person
Hmm.
if you love what you do,
Uh-huh.
and you understand that part of what you're doing, especially in the fertility world, um, is to make a difference in people's lives and just be there for them. Just be there for them. If you can be there for somebody else, that's it right there. That's all you really need.
Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
you understand, be compassionate in everything you do.
Yeah, and I think it's what you guys do. It's easy to fall in love with it because it's kind of like accomplishing a dream for people, right? And something that people are very excited about and maybe they're struggling with. So
Yeah.
being able to be there like throughout all the way until they get pregnant, it's like you
Yes.
see a lot of also happy faces, happy energy. So um,
Yeah, and it's not a job for everybody either, and
uh,
that I understand. And when I say that, you know, um, it's sometimes people are personally going through things within
mhm,
themselves that they can't afford to be there for other people, and
mhm,
that's where this job wouldn't be for you. Because
right.
also it's not all rainbows and unicorns every day either. You're going to go through a time where you're going to deal with hormonal patients that are going through it. They're
Mhm.
really going through it. And they don't mean to take things out on you. It's just their body. Once you're under hormones, you're a whole different person.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that and you can't be there for someone, it's definitely not the job for you.
Uh-huh. Got it. Understood. Okay,
Yeah.
and maybe that's a little bit of a lesson that you learned throughout the way. Is there any other lessons that have helped you to your to do your current leadership role?
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience. The more you deal with, it's not only the actual patients themselves, it's dealing with employees as well.
Hmm.
And you have to build patience because you're dealing with so many different personalities. And when you deal with so many different personalities, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're about to walk into.
Uh-huh.
uh, so my thing is my goal is always to bring in or um, create a successful team.
Yeah.
Because if you have a successful team that you help grow, it'll help you with the business side of things, right? It'll be something where patients will want to come here because your employees are so happy to service them and your employees enjoy making a difference in their lives.
Uh-huh.
So I think patience is
Yeah.
definitely something that you have to be in this position for sure.
Totally. There's this phrase that says like no matter which business you're in the business of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good one. Yes.
Exactly. And okay, what does a typical day look like for you?
So that's the thing. In fertility, there's never a typical day. It's a surprise, right? So I would say so. Typically, I would come into work very early, because it's my quiet time before
Hmm.
we actually open.
Okay.
So before we actually open, I always come in about 30 minutes earlier just to tackle my emails and get some things done that I can during quiet time.
Hmm.
Uh, I haven't, in my office, I always leave my door open. So, and I always wanted to make sure that I had a open environment, a welcoming environment.
Hmm.
Uh, and I have my patients that come back and check in and they say, I'm doing great. I'm so excited. I can't wait for my egg retrieval day. And I love it. I love it. I love when my patients come back and they bring their babies and
Oh,
it's such a reward. But every day is different.
yeah.
We have our days where you might have somebody upset. You might have a day where it's slower,
Hmm.
or you might have a day that's really really, it's so busy that you are all day on. Yes, so there's days that are just so busy that you're constantly moving, and
Hmm.
there is just, I mean, from phone calls coming in to patients coming in, you're always so active. And so in my typical day, um that is why I come in about 30 minutes before our
Yeah.
opening, just to tackle things during my quiet time. But as soon as the opening time starts, it's showtime. And I'm here assisting employees, I'm here assisting with whoever needs what,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what my typical day would be.
Got it. Got it. Very cool. What key strategies or systems apart from this one that you come a little bit earlier have you implemented that have contributed to most of the growth and efficiency of the practice?
What have I
Yeah, what
contributed?
like key strategies have you implemented?
um I've implemented a lot of patient advocacy,
Hmm.
because the this boutique practice started off very small,
Hmm.
where we only had about 5 employees. And Dr. Dinker, he's just so busy. He's always busy with trying to go out there and get more knowledge on modern medicine. He's
Hmm.
always willing to learn things. So um, my thing is over throughout the years, um what I've contributed to where we are now, I would say with patient having advocacy and bringing more patient advocacy into the practice, uh, and just picking up on more modern times with social media, and going to conferences such as the assisted reproductive medicine conferences.
Hmm.
uh, I picked up a lot of learning there. And because every clinic is different and they experience different things. And when you go to a conference, you're learning, and you're hearing stories of other clinics, and you kind
Hmm.
of pick up ideas
Yeah,
on
totally.
how you can either do better or what you can bring into the practice. So what I've contributed to the practice is not only patient advocacy, but how can we also do better as a practice with this
Mhm.
economy where it comes, where financial situations come about,
Right.
because everything's expensive.
Yeah.
Everything's so expensive.
Yeah, totally.
So, contributing to this practice and its success, part of that is also, the financial part of things, and,
Mhm.
and learning the different avenues we can take to help patients be able to afford treatment.
Got it. Okay. What do you think? So, yeah, well, I think most people know that fertility treatments can be expensive. They're
Yeah.
probably not covered at all by insurances, right?
Some
Some,
insurances do
okay.
cover. Yes,
Interesting.
but they're like the high corporate tier insurances.
Okay.
So it all depends on the insurance that you have.
Got it. Got it. And what are some of those maybe new avenues that you guys have explored to help people afford? Is it like credits? Um,
So we started working with loan companies.
Okay.
So we partnered with a couple loan companies that help assist with financing for our patients, something that we didn't have before because
Mm-hmm.
we were a more smaller practice.
Yeah.
So that's one avenue that we opened. Another thing is I'm currently working on a grant that
Oh.
I'm currently in the works with. I have introduced to our CEO, Mark Danker, what is a way that we can start introducing a grant, which is where a patient just applies for it and see it'll be like a raffle to, win a free cycle, win a free fertility treatment. Because
That's
again, everything's
awesome.
so expensive. And I want to do what I can to again be an advocate for our patients
Mm-hmm.
and help them out. Help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so right now, we are in the works with working on creating a grant for our practice to
Very
be able
cool.
to provide patients.
I love
So
it.
yes,
Yeah, and that's of course patient advocacy, as you said, but also I think that would give you guys a lot of um, PR marketing. You know.
yeah, yeah, and you can imagine with
Yeah.
navigating the practice itself and the employees here, it does get a little bit hard to try to catch up and help with the PR side of
Yeah.
things. But the beautiful thing about this practice that takes away from you know all other practices is that the individualized care that we provide here is such like a boutique,
Hmm.
and it's very we handhold our patients here. That's the best way to put it. We
Hmm.
handhold our patients. We understand that going through fertility is so much emotionally. And although our patients have a support system at home, we also are part of their support
Hmm.
system. And so, being able to, take time to do that is more important for us, which is why sometimes, our marketing strategies are not always consistent, but
Okay.
we're working on it. We hired a whole team, which is fantastic now, that is helping us with marketing.
Nice.
Um, as we stay focused on the boutique care that we provide
Hmm.
here at our practice.
Focusing
So,
on what you do best.
yes, yes.
And is this team do they go to the office or this is like a remote team?
So our head marketing director, her name is Lauren. She's amazing.
Mhm.
She comes to the office. We have a designated content day that we started, and she'll come to the office and we'll do content day. And she's very fun, and we have such a good time every time she comes here.
Yeah.
Um, and she's an amazing marketer. I mean, her and her team are they're fantastic people. I mean, I never knew how much work goes
Oh
into
yeah.
marketing until I met Lauren. And Lauren has been teaching me a lot.
That is amazing. I love it because I do run into that sometimes with because I own a digital marketing agency, and
Hmm.
sometimes when I talk with clients that don't know a lot about it, sometimes they might like they're not so sure of everything that I have to do. They think sometimes I'm
Yeah.
just like clicking,
Yeah.
just like click
Or they
refresh.
think that it's just content creating,
Right.
just making videos, but it's
Exactly.
much more than that. It's
Yeah.
so complex. It's a
It is.
lot of work.
It is a lot of work. So
Yeah.
it's very cool that you're learning and that you're also speaking about it here. It's a whole world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, and you touched a little bit about having sometimes some challenges with the finances. Is there any other challenge that you've had to overcome throughout your time being a manager?
Um, I would say no, not really.
Okay.
Not real. There's really no other challenges, but I guess the challenge is the economy, right?
Right.
That that's a challenge in
Mm-hmm.
itself
Mm-hmm.
because every year things change.
Mm-hmm.
So you just never know with that. But we just, we roll with the punches and we try as
Yeah.
best we can to try to keep up with time. We deal with a lot of international patients here.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yes,
Cool.
yes. That's something that a lot of patients and a lot of people don't see.
Mhm.
And it's very hard to really um, put out there that we're working with this patient, that patient. We've even worked with celebrities here
Oh,
that
cool.
you can't really disclose who
Right.
they are, and I'm just like, that would be so cool if only
Right?
everybody knew that you are our patient.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, we deal with so many people. I mean, we have a pretty big, for us being a boutique practice,
Yeah.
we have a very big patient clientele, and we have wonderful patients.
Beautiful. And you guys are located in a pretty good area. Palm Beach is
Yes.
beautiful. And of
Yeah.
course, like it would attract some of like maybe famous people, important people, etc. So super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All kinds of people. You know what? Every patient who comes in here is famous. Okay. Because if you are willing to undergo all the hormones that you got to go through and then financially have to spend
Oh my
that amount of
God.
money, you are a celebrity within yourself.
Agree,
That's how.
100% agree. You're just a rock star by being also a woman and a future mom. It's a process.
Yes. Yes. Very true. Yeah.
Okay, and you also touched that sometimes you guys go to conferences to learn a little bit more about boutiques. But is there any maybe trends or shifts in the industry that you have seen or that you're excited about?
Yeah, there's a lot of new technology out there
Cool.
now. It's kind of scary and it's kind of a good thing.
Right.
It all depends, okay? Because we're talking, we're going into modern times, so we're talking robots,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and that's a little scary. But also, there's some other things that are really cool and more efficient in medicine. Medicine changes all the time, no matter what type of specialty it is. There's always new developments out there. And so at these conferences, we are always learning. I mean, there are people from Japan and
Mhm.
Tokyo that come to the conferences. Dr. Danker actually just did a really fantastic conference there. And he spoke about one of
Cool.
his famous protocols that he created on his own,
Wow.
and which has contributed to the success in getting patients pregnant. So, which is why we have such a high success rate with pregnancy here, because
Nice.
Dr. Danker is always going out, finding out the new technologies, the new and improved things that
Mhm.
a lot of clinics are not doing because it is
Right.
a big investment, or because they're corporations and there are certain things that they cannot do.
Mm.
So that's another thing. Part of being a boutique practice is we can really do whatever we want as long as
Right.
we're following the laws and following FDA and the Florida Health Department. But yeah, so I do foresee medicine really evolving to, um, you know, higher technology, where one, um, even like injections for patients, is going to end up being a lot easier.
Mhm.
There's going to, there every time there's newer technology, there's new medicine out there, prescription meds for patients to help them with success in
Mhm.
their fertility treatments. Yeah, I'm excited for what the future holds for fertility. I mean,
Totally.
the downfall though is that you do see in these conferences that is a bit sad, is that unfortunately fertility has skyrocketed. Infertility is so common now
Uh-huh.
as opposed to like what it's been in the previous years.
Mhm.
It's so much more common, and a lot of it uh has to do with the food we eat, right?
Mm,
You
oh.
know, you don't really know these things until you actually go to a fertility specialist. You find these things out. So,
Mhm.
and these are some of the learning things that we get at conferences. We learn about these things. And so that's us always, taking that, bringing it back here to the clinic, and doing further research on how we can, do better for our patients. What can we do to help them?
Mhm.
Um, it's like a catch-22 with fertility because it's a specialty. A lot of people have, because of everything they've been through, they have um, a negative perception of fertility. They think it's just a money
Mm.
thing,
Okay.
and they just want money.
Mhm.
And really, it's not. It's not. It's much more than that. It's very very hard. But with these conferences, we are always learning. There's a lot of new things out there that are up and coming. Um, where I know that with insurances, there's new things happening as well. There's new offers that are going to
Good.
be happening where it's going to be most likely global.
Mhm.
So fertility will be one of those basic things that will be added to
Yeah.
a insurance plan,
Good.
and I look forward to that
Mhm.
because again, everything is so expensive.
Exactly. Super
Yeah,
expensive. And yeah, with the issues of not of people having less and less babies, that's gonna affect the whole world as well. So
yeah,
definitely insurance should keep an eye on that and think long term to
yeah,
avoid
yeah,
that. Very cool.
absolutely.
Is there any specific like foods that are like the worst, or
Fast
everything?
food.
Fast food? Okay.
The
Yeah.
fast food is like, you know, and what is considered fast food, right? People, some patients come here and they think that fast food is just like McDonald's or
Right.
Burger
Pizza.
King or what. It's much more than that. It could be your own Italian restaurant.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
although things may be homemade, you got to think about, okay, what oils are they using to cook that food?
Hmm.
Saturated fats, things like that. Those contribute to some of the problems.
Yeah.
So just having keeping yourself active, doing exercise at least 40 minutes a day, and
Hmm.
introducing greens to your body is very important. And probiotics, prebiotics is so important as well for women, especially, um, because again, you never know up until the time you're actually trying to conceive,
Hmm.
and then you end up falling into a problem. So
Hmm.
I say even the younger people, the younger crowd, start taking care of your body. Your body
Yeah.
is so important. It's everything you put into your body is so important, even from using perfumes and lotions.
Oh
That plays a
wow.
big factor. Yeah, it plays a big factor because we're talking hormones now, right?
Uh-huh.
So everything you put on your skin is like a sponge.
Yeah.
So everything you put on your skin is so important, even makeup, cosmetics. Um, there's a lot of research that has been released with cosmetics and foods that
Mm.
actually list, if you look at the back of the labels, of these foods in the store, it says can cause reproductive
Oh
harm,
wow.
and it's in small print, and a
Of
lot of people
course.
don't really see that because a lot of people don't read labels,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we shouldn't have to always read labels.
I
We should
know.
try that the foods being released into our grocery stores are healthy.
I know.
Um,
I know. It's reading
so
like a whole Bible every time you.
it is,
Yeah,
it is,
so.
and what I tell my patients, because I meet with patients too. Also, I do financial consults here as well, and what I always coach my patients on is read the back of the label. If it's a receipt long of ingredients, you should not be
Not
eating it.
being.
It does not belong in your body
Yeah, true.
at all.
That's a great
And
tip.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's you got to pick and choose what you're willing to invest in, right? And and if you are willing to invest in your body, but one of the investment is your body. Are
Yeah.
you willing to invest to stay healthy? That means you got to be consistent with it. You got to be very consistent. Yeah, you can have a cheat day here and there, but just be very mindful of what you're putting into your body, what lotions you're using, what perfumes you're using. Don't put perfume directly on your skin. Put it on your clothes.
Mm.
So it's little things, tips and tricks that I give my patients that I tell everybody. You'd be surprised. You would never know these things until you actually have the problem and you're here,
Totally.
fertility specialist.
Totally. I didn't know about like the perfume, like not putting it in your skin.
Yeah.
About that like some labels even now contain that it can cause reproductive issues. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
very very good tips. The label thing, like being long, I did know that because I've also like I see a lot of content about that, like the less ingredients the better.
Uh,
So
yes. Yes.
very good tips for everybody, and even if you don't, if
Yeah.
you're not trying to get pregnant, just for health and long term.
Exactly. Yep, yep.
Perfect.
And you don't have to, and that's another perception that we have in this world, that people think that, you have to be a doctor to know these things. You do
Right.
not.
No,
It's
absolutely.
information that's out there for everybody to read.
Yeah, it's
It
never been
takes you
easier.
to, yeah, it takes for you just to take that moment, just take some time
Yeah,
and go do your own research and you'll
exactly.
see.
Exactly. Correct. Okay, and now let's talk a little bit about digital marketing, which you mentioned two things. One, that you guys were trying to expand on this and that you guys got a team. With regards to that team, is that totally separate or you have like any involvement with it in your day to day?
I have involvement with
Cool.
it, Dave.
Very cool. Okay,
Yes.
and from you mentioned that you guys are doing content days, for example. What other type of digital marketing strategies are you guys doing?
Apart from content.
Hmm.
So some of the strategies we're working with, like our website, and we're going out there and introducing, like right now, Dr. Dager is across country. He's doing some talks with some other fellow reproductive
Hmm.
physicians, teaching them the ins and outs of
Nice.
um, of reproductive medicine. So one of the things is we're also going out to conferences, we're shooting content there, we're talking to other physicians, fellow OBGYNs too, because they also play a big part as well. Um, so the other part of the digital marketing is actually going out there, introducing ourselves to other physicians, local physicians,
Mm,
physicians, not only just market ourselves, but
yeah.
marketing.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Very cool. Yeah, I've heard because I talked with some practice owners as well, and that's like a really good um kind of like a little bit of a referral program that works very well within
Yeah.
practices. Uh-huh. Very nice.
Yeah.
And do you know if you guys do like any kind of paid advertising, like Google ads or Facebook
Yeah.
ads, things like that? Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We
Awesome.
have another team that does that. They take care of that. They take care of the Google ads.
Uh-huh.
They take care of our website. They take care of all the tracking that we get
Mm-hmm.
um, as well. So that our other team takes care of that. So we have a pretty big marketing team.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think would be the biggest challenge that you currently face related to any type of digital marketing?
Um, competitors that are good with their words.
Hmm.
Um, so you have a lot of competitors that are good with, their they bring their approach with things. So the
Hmm.
way they just use, their language
Okay.
that grabs the attention of the audience.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes it may not be true, but they won't know that up until the
Oh,
time they're like,
already invested.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
So, mhm.
But even so, it is, yeah, I think it's very important to be creative, and that's awesome. You guys could, like, of course, learn a little bit from that, but to the point where where you're saying things that are not true, then that's a little bit worrying there, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of people get away with it.
Exactly.
There's actually a lot of podcasts out there that, I listen to podcasts myself.
Mhm.
Every morning I listen to podcasts, and you know, you have there's just it's unfortunate, but that's just, so that's media for you, right?
Right.
That you can pick and choose what you want to say. And some people are not going to fact check you.
Right.
Um, but they have the ability to say whatever they want,
Mhm, mhm.
So
At least
that's
until
the only.
they get caught, and sometimes even if they get caught, people might not want to sue or something because it's just a hassle. So sometimes people
Right.
can get away with it. Yeah, agreed. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
for people that are listening, be very careful and make sure you do your great research before doing
Always
anything
research.
medical. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, you can cost yourself a
Yeah,
financial situation that you do not want to be in.
100%.
Yeah.
A hundred
So
percent.
always follow a podcast that is dealing with, you know, reputable people.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, I listen to a lot of podcasts, only the ones that have like people who really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, correct.
Fact check.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite podcasters is Candace Owens.
Oh, I like
She
her. Yes.
I love her. I
Yes.
love
Yes.
her.
Yes.
She fact checks everything.
Good.
So
Love it.
before it comes out of her mouth, before you even see it on her podcast, she will provide all of the viewers and all of the listeners where you can find the exact
Mm-hmm.
information she's talking to you
Mm-hmm.
about. That way you don't feel like she's just making things up, because again, we live in a world where you can't
Yeah.
really trust everything you're hearing,
A
right?
hundred
You got
percent.
to fact check things.
Yeah, a
So
hundred
that's
percent.
important.
I love that, especially also on Instagram. People put whatever, and I see it also a lot with like maybe older people, like my mom. She's like, "Oh, I saw this. Like, dude, they are saying this," and I'm like, "No, like, go and check." Ask ChatGPT or something. Don't always
Yes, yes.
believe what you see on Instagram.
Yes, yes, and that's very crazy. I mean, we again, we live in a digital world where people are getting catfished, okay?
I
Because
know.
they are out there and they're using all of these filters on
Hmm.
Instagram, and people think they actually look like that, but when you see them up close, they do not look like that.
Right.
They do not look like
That's
that.
so funny. I have a friend that happened to her.
Oh
It's
my
so funny.
gosh. And it's so common, right? It's like it's unfortunate, but it's
It's
common and it's scary.
totally
It's scary.
very scary.
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica. Well, thank you so much for the great conversation. It was awesome to meet you and to learn a little bit more about Palm Beach Fertility Clinic and also about you, what you do, and your expertise. Where can people learn more about you and about Palm Beach Fertility Clinic?
If you go to our Palm Beach Fertility website, you can find, I have a little bio there. You can find a little bit more about me on there. And we're working on our content. So you'll see a few videos on Instagram. You'll see me on Instagram or
Nice.
TikTok on there, and follow us, like our videos,
Mhm.
and show your support.
Mhm.
It means a lot.
Love it.
And thank you so much, Maria, for having me. This was
Absolutely.
very enjoyable.
It was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.
Yes.